Are you happy in your business? Now, I have had my share of emotional ups and downs in my 20 years of being a solo entrepreneur coach. And the patterns I've seen in myself and in my clients is that those downs are usually when I was personally feeling unfulfilled. Sometimes it was because a launch that flopped, and sometimes it was just life and had nothing to do with business. But those ups, oh boy, those are the times when I was feeling my most authentic and completely aligned to my purpose, or when I just felt like I was rocking that work-life balance. I would be thinking I could do this all day long and never feel tired. One of my loves is sharing what works for me and what has been working for my clients to achieve this very feeling, full of passion, happiness, peace, and freedom. So I decided to create a private podcast for coaches. Maybe you just want to develop better communication skills that boosts engagement, leads to better results, and makes you feel like you're actually making a difference in the lives of the people you serve. Then you're invited too. We talk about this and more in the UBU private podcast for coaches. Whether you're a mentor, a parent, or run a client-focused business, coaching skills benefit everyone and anyone who wants to communicate in a way that builds relationships. Fall in love with your life and business again. Click the link in the show notes for your invitation to join us right now. Then come back and enjoy this episode. Hey, difference maker. Do you know your unique personality strategy for your business? First, you need to understand your own personality. And second, you need to understand the personality of your ICA. When you know these two things, it takes sales psychology to a whole new level. You no longer have imposter syndrome. You don't feel sleazy when it comes to sales, because sometimes when you hear that term, sales psychology, it feels kind of gross. It feels almost like you're manipulating someone into buying your stuff. But the truth is, when you understand both your personality and their personality, your interaction with your audience becomes genuine. You become more compassionate, more empathetic, and they are going to trust you and like you faster. And we prefer doing business with people that we know, like, and trust. So in today's episode, this is another excerpt from the pre-trainings from the Create Your Signature Offer Bootcamp. This one is about what you need to know about your personality. There are 3 things, and there are 3 questions that you need to ask yourself. So let's go ahead and dive in. It's time to stop comparing yourself to others and plug in to what is uniquely you. Welcome to Unbox Your Personality, the podcast for coaches, creatives, and educators like you who understand that your happiness makes you more effective at what you do, bringing out the best in others. I'm Jen P. Higgins, personality strategist and Enneagram fluff remover. Get laser focused on who you are and who you aren't, so you're free to make the impact you were born to make. And have fun doing it. Your personality is your business. So let's get down to business. I've been doing these pre-trainings, and so I talked a little bit about your story. And then yesterday I talked about what exactly is a signature offer. Today I'm going to be talking about personality. And then tomorrow I'm going to be talking about the best way to set yourself up for success for the bootcamp. But yesterday I was talking about the signature offer, but I left off something that was really, really important. One of the other characteristics of your signature offer is that it can generate up to 80% of your income on autopilot. And that is nice because then you can sleep in, then you can, live. You can live your life and not live for the weekend, just feel like you're overworking yourself. If you think about it, though, we love to serve. You're probably attracted to me because we are service-oriented people. If you're a coach, if you're a course creator, you want to serve other people. And you probably love it so much that you'll do it for free, right? And that's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. That means that you're doing something that you love. And why wouldn't you do something that you love? But serving for free doesn't always cover the cost of Newsendler or your platform, Kajabi, Buzzsprout, if you're a podcaster, Canva, or any of those other business expenses just to break even. So you need to make money. You're in business to make money. I always say that money doesn't buy you happiness, but it does buy you options. And so maybe that's the Enneagram Type 7 in me speaking, but we love options and just not being stuck in just one way of doing things. So that's what building a business that creates money can help you do. So what you're really after when you build a business is you want that kind of freedom. You want that kind of flexibility to be able to serve without burning out, right? Can I get an amen on that? Any burned out people? And that's why you're in this boot camp, to get a signature offer. Because we want to be able to drop everything when you or a loved one is sick, or there's an important event that you have to attend or that you want to attend, right? Not just because you need to. And you don't want to have to feel guilty that you're either ignoring your business or you're ignoring a loved one or you're ignoring yourself. Because the quickest way to burn out is to ignore yourself, is to work against yourself. When I mean by yourself, I mean that's your personality. Working against yourself is working against your personality and the way that you are wired, the way that you're hardwired to navigate your reality, to navigate your world. So when you actually work with your personality, you're going to start feeling more aligned. You're going to start feeling closer to the top of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where that self-actualization is. And here's the thing. You may know that you need to work with your personality, but maybe you don't really know yourself very well. Maybe you wear so many hats in your life, or maybe you're an empath. I'm an empathic. So if you identify with that, I feel you there. And because of all these hats or being an empath and just being able to feel all the feels, maybe you've lost sight of who you actually are versus these things that you absorbed from your environment. Or maybe you're extremely self-aware and you know or observe a lot of stuff about yourself, but you haven't yet made sense of it all or put it together to where it is cohesive or it's tangible, like something that you can actually work with. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a little exercise. Now, of course, I'm a huge Enneagram fan. I am an Enneagram expert. I wrote a book. There's my book over there. I'll post something later on if you're interested in that book, or you can go on my website and check it out. My business card is powercoachjen.com. And so you can check it out there. So I'm a huge Enneagram fan because I think it is the fastest way to kind of hack into your brain, to hack into your subconscious and even your unconscious mind to really figure out what's driving you. Now, this is not an Enneagram workshop, and today's not even an Enneagram pre-training. You don't need to know anything about the Enneagram to help you with this exercise, but I am curious. If you wouldn't mind letting me know in the comments how familiar you are with the Enneagram. Just let me know. Let's scale it from like 0 to 10, where 0 is what the heck is an Enneagram? And 10 is I am an Enneagram ninja. So just let me know which number you are. And I'm just curious, because if the majority of you are more well-versed in the Enneagram, then I know I can talk more about it. But if there are some of you who are not, then I know, just how to modulate. But if you are a 0, you can still do this exercise. And sometimes, if I'm honest, you might even be a little bit more unbiased. I won't go into that soapbox. But if you don't know, I do have a podcast, so you can go check out how I stand on that. So anyway, but I digress. Use what you know about yourself, either from a personality test like Myers-Briggs or Human Design or DISC, the Big Five, or even if you've never taken any of this, you can even use Harry Potter, like which house you're in if you want to. Those things can be insightful. They're not always accurate, but they can be insightful if you resonated with it. So just whatever you've resonated with it from those tests, or even what you've heard other people say about you. And you're like, yeah, I do that. Or yeah, I do like that. Those are the kinds of things I want you to think about. So when it comes to personality, your personality is built on 3 legs. So I call this your personality tripod. And it balances because of these 3 legs that make up your personality. So the first leg is your values, and these are things that are important to you. The second thing are your strengths, and these are the things that come naturally to you. And the third leg is your motivations, and these are the things that drive you. They're the things that light you up, or they could be the things that shut you down. So whatever motivates you to take action or not take action. So here are some of the things that I want you to ask yourself. And the key to this exercise is to start general and then get specific. And if you start specific, that's okay. Just get even more specific, because the more specific you can get, the quicker you're going to be able to see the patterns of your behaviors and the patterns of your life. Like, you'll just start seeing these patterns. Like, just for example, a fun fact about me, I noticed that every 6 years, I made a pretty big shift in my life. I'd have to go back and look to see if it stopped or not once I got married. It didn't actually. It continued on. That's going to be my exercise. So I'm going to be doing this homework with you. I'm going to look and see some of these patterns myself. But here are the 3 questions I want you to ask yourself. Number 1, what are some core values or core beliefs? So you can use those interchangeably if you want to, that set the standard in your life. The second question is, what are some skills, some strengths or skills that either come naturally or that you've worked hard to develop and now they're second nature? They come really easily to you. And then the third question is, what are some of your motivations? And we want to get very specific here as well. If you know your Enneagram type, you're going to get a shortcut to this. But ask yourself, what gives you energy? Like when you're dog tired, can get you up and motivate you to take action. But also the opposite, when you're fired up and it can be just a total buzzkill and can basically trigger you, for lack of a better term. So again, if you know your Enneagram type, you'll get a shortcut to this because it is based off of your core motivations, these unconscious drivers that actually go deeper than the surface of I'm motivated to make money or I'm motivated to live out my purpose. Like, there's nothing wrong with those things. But if you want to get more specific than that, ask yourself, what does it mean to you to make money? What does it mean to you to live out your purpose? What does doing that give you? And keep asking some form of that question until you can't answer it anymore. So I do want you to ponder over this, but don't overthink it. If you know this about yourself, that you're already an overthinker, just set a timer for like 15 minutes and spend that time thinking about it, writing your first gut reaction answers to this so that you can get it down on paper, because you're going to get more clarity on this week, but I at least wanted to get the ball rolling and get you start looking within now, because we all know it's not as easy as it sounds. Sure wish it was. But the bottom line is that personality can make or break your business. And so if you don't know things about yourself, you really need to pay attention to your personality when it comes to business, not just in building the signature offer. And I guess I am getting ahead of myself, but it is important to see the bigger picture. Like, if you've ever switched doctors because of their bedside manner, you know how important personality is. Or maybe you've stopped shopping with an entire brand, because your values didn't match up. And so it's really important to know this about yourself and know that everybody is different not to take it personally. I love the line, the Enneagram helps you not take personality personally. And I won't even just say the Enneagram, just knowing that everybody does have a different personality, whether or not you use the Enneagram or not. It helps you not take other people's personality personally. It helps me take not my own personality, not to take it personally. But here's the thing. You know what people respond favorably to? Favorably to? That's a hard word to say on a Saturday morning. People respond to authenticity. And when you understand your personality and you work with it, that's what you become. You become authentic. And when you're with another person, even if you have completely opposite personalities, most people will appreciate the fact that you're being yourself. Otherwise, they might feel like they're being duped or they're being manipulated or just plain uneasy, right, empaths? Because unalignment gives off that kind of energy and people can feel that. So just your little mini homework for today is just to ask those questions and jot them down on an index. Actually, you should be getting an email from me today with a surprise. It's a handy dandy thing that you can print out and then you can write it down on there. If you are hearing this episode after the boot camp has closed, you'll still be able to access all of the unedited content of the pre-trainings and the 5-day main trainings. Just go to powercoachjen.com and look for the link to buy the mini course. Now, just to give you an idea of what you'll be getting in this mini course, some of the breakthroughs that the participants have shared with me range from, oh, I thought I knew who my ideal audience was, to, oh, my messaging isn't connecting and that is why I'm not standing out, to, oh, my signature offer isn't what I thought it was. It's actually way more simple than I was making it out to be. No wonder I'm so tired. And all because I'm having them take a good look in the mirror first. You've got to understand yourself and your own story first, and then you can understand your audience and your ICA. And then you'll understand what your strategy is. Because it's only when you unbox yourself that you can unleash your power. Thank you for listening, subscribing, and reviewing the Unbox Your Personality podcast. To learn more about yourself, go to powercoachjen.com. Find out how you are different so you can make your difference.